CBS News has confirmed ICE operations targeting Somali immigrants are underway in the Twin Cities. Local lawmakers are reporting a handful of arrests and people being stopped by federal agents. Jason Rantala is live in South Minneapolis this evening. Jason?
Aaron, I spoke with an attorney who works with the Somali community. I also spoke with a Somali woman who lives here in Cedar Riverside. I sat down with that attorney, Nancy Hilden, along with Binti Ali at Smart Restaurant and Cafeteria here in the neighborhood. Ali has been in Minnesota for nearly 3 decades. Hilden says community members are on edge. Ali says she's not scared, though, and says if she's approached, she'll prove she is a citizen. Both took offense to President Trump's recent comments that he doesn't want Somalis in the country, that they, quote, contribute nothing.
So Somalian is hard worker. Nobody sitting home. It's everybody go work.
A lot of adults who came here as refugees from Somalia have professional degrees. They're doctors, they're engineers. So it's not like you just didn't come with skills.
And ICE says this operation is about enforcing the nation's laws, not targeting a specific group. Either way, Hilden says one way you can support the community during this time of fear is to shop here in Cedar Riverside and support small business. Aaron.
All right, Jason, thank you so much. Well, census data shows that more than 100,000 Somali people call Minnesota home. A majority live in the metro area. Ashley Grahams is looking at the numbers and some of the history behind this migration to the Midwest.
The land of 10,000 lakes is home to the largest Somali community in the country. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, data shows over 107,000 people identified as Somali across the state. A majority of those live in the Twin Cities, about 83,000 people. A few years back, WCCO spoke with Ahmed Samatar, a professor at McAllister College, about the history of this migration. About 3 decades ago, Somalia plunged into a civil war and hundreds of thousands fled the country.
It was a horrible dictatorship, military dictatorship, starvation and disease.
The United States first extended temporary protected status to Somalia in 1991. Samatar said many opportunities first attracted Somali immigrants.
The possibility of housing, the possibility of healthcare.
Recent U.S. Census data also shows just over 5% of the Somali population are not citizens of the United States. On Wednesday, the Council on American Islamic Relations in Minnesota gave this estimate for how many may be in the country illegally without documentation.
Less than 1,000 for sure. Okay. Yeah, I don't even think a few hundred is probably a good fair estimate.
Ashley Grahams, WCCO News.
The federal immigration crackdown in Minnesota started after the president heard about dozens of federal convictions and the ongoing fraud cases here. The price tag on that fraud totals more than $1 billion. Jonah Kaplan has been speaking with investigators today on the breadth and scope of these schemes. He's live for us in downtown Minneapolis. Jonah?
Yeah, Aaron, if we think back, these cases really were first prosecuted back in 2022. That was 3 years ago. But prosecutors say there are still indictments coming, and there's never a bad time to talk about this because these cases show the vulnerabilities that were existent. Plus, there are dozens of suspects that are charged still waiting to be tried. We're talking about 3 separate fraud cases involving federal tax dollars coming to Minnesota. The biggest fish, of course, is Feeding Our Future and similar nutrition programs. They were all set up during COVID to give meals to kids, but they were actually never served. The total price tag, $400 million. Then there's a housing program, $200 million stolen from that, and another $200 million taken from a program meant to help children with autism. Erica MacDonald, the former U.S. attorney for Minnesota in the first Trump administration, saying there were multiple guardrails missing. And there were 87 people total charged in those 3 cases, 61 of them convicted again and counting. Back to you.
Okay, Jonah, live for us tonight. Thank you.